Right, we've got this Rocket 35. We're trying to track down this hum that we've got, and you can hear it there. Now if we look at this tube socket, this third tube in here, see me wriggling that about there. Now if we switch off and we remove that tube and we put in a brand new 12x7 electro harmonics, there we go. See how loose those sockets are. Switch back on, and the humming's gone now. And that, you bear in mind, the master is flat out now on this, so you can hear now the humming's gone. But now you can see there's another problem. I'm just going to turn this volume down. And what that other problem is this. So any new tubes that are put in this amp, even if the electro harmonics, they won't go in these sockets. The old ones will. So you can see that there. Yeah, the other tube was fine. It's still electro harmonics just the same. It's as if the pins are thicker on these. I don't know what the problem is on those. No idea. But anyway, cured one problem and ended up with another one. These tube sockets are junk, and they really have got to go. Yeah, I can't leave that like that. See, the others rattle about, but they don't. That one's not great, but. And see again, if we take that out, pop back in the original one there, flick it on, you can hear as the tube comes up. See the humming starting to come up as that tube. Like so, and you can see the tube's absolutely fine. Never seen anything like that before. Crazy, crazy. These tube sockets just have got to go. They really have. See now the amp back on, and you can see already that's kicking off already. And let me just turn that down. See what I mean? So the tube's good now. Swap one problem, created another. How does that? How can that be? That is an electro harmonics tube that came out of it. That is an electro harmonics tube that's gone into it. That one's a brand new one. And any other tubes that I put in those sockets, any of them, you get the same symptoms in all 5. So they're going to have to go. And again, the bill, you know, the bill is on this amp continues to rise. You know, another tube there, and now it looks like we've got to have tube sockets in it. And this is a, you know, a boutique amp. No, it isn't, is it? It's not. It may look it on the outside, and it sounds fantastic. It sounds like a boutique amp, but those sockets have got to go. These ones, yeah, these ones don't. They're not really causing any problems, as I can see. They're a bit warm as well, so I watch when I'm touching them. But look at that, and they're all the same. Every one of them look. Actually, that one's slightly tighter than the others, but they're just junk, absolute junk. Right, so I've got these sockets ready to go in, these Beltons. We'll show you those in a minute, but I've taken out one of these sockets, and I'll do a close-up still so you can just see how bad these are. They're really poor. Now I said in part 1 that I hadn't seen these sockets before, and I hadn't until I was watching Shango's channel, who does a lot of televisions, and I spotted these in an RCA TV. So these looks like these are RCA sockets that are used in televisions. It's quite how they found their way into a guitar amp, I don't know, but anyway, so we've got to get these out now and put in some proper ones that actually work properly. And these are, you know, I don't know whether anybody repair TVs out there. In those days, were the pins slightly thicker on TV tubes? Somebody let me know in the comments, but these certainly aren't right for the tubes that are in here. So here are the tube sockets that we put it in, these preamp tube sockets there. These are Beltons, real good quality, so they will fit in. If you look, you can get, there you go, you see that sitting in there nicely. Obviously it goes the other way round. We're just making sure it fits there. And then we've got the Beltons for the output tube sockets as well, because we're changing those, because I don't like those either, and I thought we might as well just go the whole hog and do this job right. Right, I've got this board back, we've got all these sockets in there, you can see. I've got all the solder looking most spiffy and cleaned off all the flux. We can have a look at these sockets now. You can see we've got here, and you can see they're just the state that they're in. Look at the pins and the things. As I say, I'll do some close-ups of this. So I'm planning on buying a macro camera so we can get a lot more close-up video. We can look at some of these in a bit more detail then, but you get the picture with those. They've had it, and they weren't right for this amp in the first place. So I've just got the reverb to connect in there now, and that's finished. We've got all the sockets back in, we've got the board back in. I actually found on these sockets here, because I didn't take them out, there was no star washer on the back of there, and these were on instead. I don't quite know what they were doing on there, but we've sorted that out. Now we'll have to check the bias on this amp as well, because this pot being upright like this, we're working in here, and the cable for the soldering iron coming over, and various things. I may have caught that, I don't know whether I have or not, but I might have done. So I need to just check these bias pots. Have been working on an amp like this for some time, and this bias pot's like stood on its end like that. Always check the bias again when you finish, because you could easily move that, not even notice the way it's mounted. There's nothing wrong with it being mounted like that. It's just if you're in and out of this all the time, the chances increase more and more of accidentally catching it. You probably wouldn't even notice. So we'll check the bias again when we've got these new tube sockets in. So this is what we're turning his attention to now, and that is these output tube sockets here, which we're going to change, which aren't wonderful either. So we're going to have those out and put the Beltons in, and that's the next job, and then this amp will be finished. We should be able to button this amp up, and it should be most spiffing. And we've just got to have another listen to it when we've finished it, haven't we? Because it sounds so good. It may not look great inside, but it sounds fabulous. And one other thing we need to address is the resistor here that's been put on the stove to be baked. So he needs to go, and he needs placing to the side somewhere down there. So, but that'll have had so much heat now from that resistor that there's no good leaving that there. That's now in fresh air there, but as I say, a new cap will be needed. Right, finally got all these sockets in, so you can see they're all on now. I'm finished. We've got these two in here, You can see over there we've got those in there. We've got new grid stoppers on there. Let's have a look at the ones that came out. Here's the junk that came out, and these really are junk, these things. I've had the holes didn't line up, so I've had to turn them round the other way, so they're now a long ways on. Redraw the holes because the holes for these ones are there and there. They actually mounted that way round. So the holes wouldn't line up, and I don't like holes too close together, so I'd be drilling right next to the original holes. So I've just turned them round and redrawed all the holes, put them in, and those will last for years. We've moved the bypass capacitor down here now, because it was sat on top of this resistor, baking like one of Grandma's scones. So we've sorted that out, and he's ready to be put back together, and the tubes are now nice and solid in these. Remember, they were virtually falling out of these sockets. These are the preamp sockets there. I'll do some stills close-ups of these. These things, which, as I said before, these I think are TV tube sockets. What they're doing in a guitar amp, I do not know. But anyway, we'll get it back in its case. We'll just have a quick listen again, make sure there's no issues. I've had it on the scope. I've just checked the bias again, as I've also removed those 1.1 ohm resistors that were on between the cathodes to ground. They were out of tolerance, and I've just wired them back to ground, but it's not affected the bias any. But I'm not big on this measuring across the resistor. It's all right till the resistor goes out of tolerance, as they were, and then you're not getting an accurate reading. So that's how I do it. I just use the shunt method for biasing. I always have done. It's accurate, and the only thing that can be out on that is your meter. So as long as you make sure your meter's calibrated, you're good to go. Right, I've got this Electroplex back in its case now, so we're going to give it a bit of a listen. So I thought I'd try the old Strat with the altered tuning, as we've already heard it with the other guitars. Let's try the other channel. issues with the tubes falling out the sockets. So there's a lot of work to get those tube sockets in there, sort that out. But so that will do it for this one. So thanks for watching. You all take care, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye for now.